6:15 in the morning. Getting ready for the day. Got my shorts. Gotta get the cut pants on. It's gonna be a little wet today. It rained last night. Nothing wrong with that. But I went and grabbed some mats this morning and threw them on the truck. And last night I just threw a couple more on this morning because of how wet it is. Let's go. This thunderstorm this afternoon. I don't think that's gonna be an issue. Today's goal is to get as much of the brush off the two main trees as possible. That's about it. That's all I got to yap at you this morning. Pull this out. Those notches are so you can use this to open the gas and oil on the elbow saws.
There you go.
I learned that last night on YouTube.
Learn something new every day.
I use chip drop, chipdrop.com. I'll put it right here on the screen. Free to use, it's a great resource for homeowners too. You get free chips delivered to your driveway. You can sort out if you want logs in your chips or not, species that you want or don't want. It's great because chips are easy to get rid of for us now. Like I said, Carl just went to the bathroom. I had him put the block on before he left. We're only 100 feet or so. Man, this rope gets heavy quick. Top of the canopy. Using a CMI block. I have 4 of these. They're rated for safe working load 10,000 pounds. More than enough for anything we're doing. The reason I'm using a block instead of a ring-to-ring up here, which I have down on the ground as well, is because this creates less friction. See the rolling? And that's really what I'm going for. I just want a 1-to-1 ratio. So when I say 1 wrap on the quarter wrap or 2 wraps on the quarter wrap, I know 3 to 6, 6 to 12, how much weight I can put without having it smash against the tree. Basically, letting it run is the main benefit to using a block like this compared to a ring-to-ring, which is fine. You can use a ring-to-ring, but they add a lot of friction. I'd say it's almost a full wrap on the quarter wrap is how much friction you can have using a ring-to-ring sling. But now I will turn you guys. Well, it is old. It's from 2019. Probably about time to get retired. I'll make sure we're going around the main union. And when you put your climb line in, if you're going to work off single rope, you would just clip in right to the carabiner. That's my favorite way to do it. Working off double rope, we are going to untie the system and make sure we go through the small ring first and then the big ring. That is a very important step. Small, then big, small, then big, because you can tie a knot and pull this whole system out from the ground if need be when you go through small to big. Now I like to actually clip the carabiner onto the zigzag, around the carabiner twice, around the back leg, and then through the front. It's a fisherman's knot, is what it's called, and this is what I climb on. You can throw a little backup. It's not going to do much. It will stop it if it slips, but I trust my life to this. Do a little test sit. Put all the weight into it, and we're good. We're tied in at a relatively high point, well, the highest point of this tree. Like I said, we're probably 110, 115. This is the next tree we're gonna be doing right here. I may even shoot my line over to this tree when I get ready to do this one, just so I'm tied into that tree already. I can just swing over. But that'll be this afternoon. Main goal this morning is to get this tree down. We still have a lot of tangled brush in the home to contend with. I love the Ultra Sling because no knots, no fuss, all go, all done. Just like that, I'm ready to go. Put this tail out of the way and get me down below this block. Let's get my rig line in. This block, I'm gonna cut the branches off because they're really long. I don't want them to jump anywhere, hit the chipper, saw, trying to preserve that blue spruce a little bit. I'm just gonna cut these branches nice and small. Maybe not this big one. We'll rig this when he gets back. Notch this one so it swings and drops, hopefully not on my rope. You see what I mean? So I cut bottom, side, side, top, and if you see, got a nice square. It's called a square cut. And now that there's a sufficient mess there, car will be able to take care of it. Yeah. fantastic job. See, I knew that was happening. I didn't want it to go across my lanyard. It wouldn't have hurt me or been dangerous or anything. It's just not comfortable. Time to go back up. It's Saka Climbing Innovations. Yeah, go ahead and put it on. Folding knee ascender. It's the nicest knee ascender I've ever had. Just because. Hang it. See a cool trick, so you don't have to reach all the way out there. So even though I went through and made all my cuts super flush, sorry you guys probably had a shitty view for that clip, my climb line got tangled in the piece that I just rigged out, and it doubled over on one of the knots. I'm sure you've seen it. And I mean, I was holding on. This thing got tight, and you could have played a symphony on it. Oof. I'm glad you were recording. Alright. Free fell that whole right side top. Everything went good. We left the brush, or I left the brush, because I didn't want the little logs. That would have been way too tedious. It would took me an hour to rig all these logs out. So I just cut them. And if you leave the brush there, they don't jump as far, because the brush kind of dampens everything for you. I mean, why waste an hour rigging shit when you don't need to? Carl's pulling the rig line out. He's gonna chip the brush. The logs will stay right where they are for now. And then we'll rig out the rest of this stem down to about, I'd say 25, 30 feet, you know, house line. And then I'm gonna hop over to the next tree, get all the brush on the way up cut off that I can free fall and not rig, tie in, set a rig point, and I think that'll be a day. Not quite. Hello? Nah, just wobbling, fucking 60 feet off the ground. What's up? And take a snipe out of that. Those are too heavy to move, aren't they? That's all right. They're just gonna get buried a little bit.
Come on.
Gotta come down fast for a little kid. It's day one. Got a standing stick somewhere in there. Carl's tired. I'm tired. I don't actually know if Carl's tired, but I am. I'm gonna go dump some chips.